Go live. Good morning, everybody. We're live. Good morning, morning. Welcome. All who are on at this time. Let's get to work. Share the channel, please. Share. Just send out a reminder to everybody. This morning is a big morning. We have Ralston I am on in another 10 minutes because we're going to bring him on early because the FinSac archive has been released. So touch base with some people. Touch base. Touch base. Touch base with some people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Could put this out there in the meantime. Exit that. Go to that. This.
Colin, good afternoon.
Simon, good afternoon.
What's up?
I call you because of a comment that you made while in discussion with Ralston
Mm-hmm.
as it relates to the promoters down in Mandeville.
Yes.
You have any idea how many sound systems are in Jamaica, Simon?
No.
I want to guess that is over 1,500.
All right, so that's a guess.
Over 1,500.
Uh-huh.
And an average of 7 people work with a sound system.
Mm-hmm.
So that's over 10,500 people employed to the sound system operators.
Employed is a strong word, but yeah, go ahead.
And then you have...
On.
No, but we are talking about the 7 we employed. That's why I'm bringing it down to 7. 4 boxmen, 1 technician, 2 selector.
Uh-huh.
That's how I work it out. My business, me night.
Right.
Right. And then you have the promoters. So you're talking about 30,000 people in that sector alone of the entertainment industry.
Across the island.
Right, across the island. Now, Simon, the least little thing happened, these people are just shoved aside. There's no time.
Come on, Colin. It's not
Hold on, man.
It's not the least little thing happened. COVID and 42 murders in a parish like Manchester. Is that the least thing that
How many murders we have in Kingston, Simon?
Come on.
For the years.
It's you're good, you know. You're good.
No, but how many murders we have in Kingston for the years?
Tell me now. I don't have the figure.
And how many in Montego Bay?
I don't have the figure.
My argument, though, is that when people invest their money, a man have a dance plan for this weekend. And I'm sure that there are many sessions that were planned for this weekend in Mandeville, before all of this is happening.
Right.
Now, could the government say to these promoters, all right, we are going to provide adequate security so you can keep your session and people can come out? Why do you have to decide that them can't keep it? Why that is always the
all
option?
Right, let me ask you this. If there was an outbreak of Ebola in Manchester, we must just keep the party them safe.
No, Simon.
So where do you draw the line, Colin? Where you draw the line?
Where you draw the line? There's 40 murders in Manchester.
Yes.
Since the year started.
Yes.
It is the responsibility of the government to secure the citizens.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I hear you said maybe some of the promoters or some of the people might involve in some of the murder. We have no evidence to that.
No, there is evidence to that. But go on. The police have referred to that.
But what I'm saying, Simon...
But that may be a small amount, and that's not the crux of the matter. The crux of... All right, let me ask you this, Colin. Why the promoter don't shift them event to the day rather than the night and the 4 o'clock in the morning and the 5 o'clock in the morning?
But that's what I said to you now. Those are some of the discussions that could have been had.
But you don't know they haven't been had. Maybe them reluctant to do that. Why
you think the man them walk out?
Maybe them reluctant to do that because
my information is that they weren't being accommodated.
What do you mean they weren't being accommodated?
In terms of making any adjustments so as to accommodate them to keep the event the same way?
No. I'm asking you why they don't shift their argument to say Heroes Day to keep in the session in the day. You are saying...
I'm agreeing with you. You know?
No, but you're saying they weren't accommodated. Maybe they didn't suggest that.
No, but you are saying maybe I have a little information because I made some inquiry. And my information is that the idea of locking them up at maybe midnight, giving them up until midnight, those were not being accommodated. That's my information. And that's why I'm saying to you that the least little thing, we're not try to accommodate them.
No, but even the midnight. I said to you the day. Why them don't have it in the day? Why them don't have a day party? Somebody...
We do have day party, you know, Simon, because I do the jerk festival, and my jerk festival run from 9 o'clock until 7 o'clock.
Right.
So we do have the event.
Yeah, but you are in Portland. Me talk about the issue of Manchester, which is, as I said, when you talk about the murders in Kingston, we are kind of used to a certain level and certain areas of activity, right? Now you gonna quiet Manchester, be a whole people a hardware store. What them call it?
I am not backing
the place for the newlywed and nearly dead.
No, can't deal with the people.
No, I said them call the place.
Man,
so
you have like a more life than that, man. Come on.
And that, about
me, Simon,
yeah.
and these are some of the reasons why we are putting forward entertainment zones.
Yeah, but on all that foolishness. On talk about, and this is what I do, you know. There was talk about entertainment zones when Damian Crawford was our junior minister in the Ministry of Tourism and Entertainment. Right. And here we are,
but Simon,
nearly 20 years later. And we do
it's not nearly 20 years later. Let's be accurate. It's 8 years later. Let's be accurate. It's 8 years, I call it 9 years later.
No, but we are talking about this from 2012.
But nobody followed up on what Damien was implementing.
Right, but they're still talking about it.
We've been out of power since that time.
Yeah, but there was
we are saying that as soon as we get back into power, those entertainment zones are going to become a reality.
So
Morning. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do it shall prosper. Welcome to Portland Spice TV. Welcome to East Portland Facebook. Colin Anthony at Facebook. And we have to change our East Portland name there. The fact that we are no longer the candidate, that Facebook name will be changed. And we go back to the fellowship division. Morning to all the people who are on the platform early. This morning, we're going to be having Ralston Iman. As I said, Ralston Iman is going to be on this morning. And we're going to bring him on at about 10 minutes after 9 o'clock. Because we have a packed program this morning. We're going to be talking to the Colonel Sterling of the Moortown Maroon. And, you know, this weekend is a celebration of Jamaica's only national heroine, Nanny. We'll be celebrating Nanny this weekend. And big things at Moortown. And if you can find the time to visit Moortown, we are inviting you to visit us at Moortown, if you can. We're also going to be talking to Dr. Olivia Rose. You were listening a while ago, excerpts from a discussion I had with Simon Croskill on Power 106 yesterday. That discussion was about how we as a people and our government deals with the party side, events side of the entertainment industry. And it really takes in a lot of people. And I don't think we have ever really sat down and looked through this aspect and how we deal with them. We deal with them like the term I want to use, sometimes I don't like it, but we deal with them like skettle, or like we are criminals. You know? Those of us who engage in the business of putting on events, be it a dinner, a dance, a party, music is a staple in it. And the entertainment industry has not been given the kind of respect over the years, but worse now, by this government in this modern age where we are saying people ought to understand. When you have an industry where you look, when you really check it out, it can involve over 50,000 people earning from this industry in Jamaica, even though it is not at where it can really be. So I was having that discussion with Simon Croskill yesterday because Mandeville, they are experiencing, and I heard it in the news this morning, the man is saying serious crimes in Mandeville are down 17%. But at the same time, you're putting in curfews to stop entertainment event, parties and people who keep them session and stage show. You're stopping these events. I really would love to have a sit down with the government and see if I can use my knowledge and bring some other people. We have the knowledge and the understanding of how important this industry is. With all the talk of the government of how well they are doing with the economy, they don't speak about production. And I don't know if you realize, there's no discussion about producing or what they have managed to produce over the time that they have been there and leading this country. And what the country really needs is serious production. Yeah, hold on, my brother. Serious production is what the country needs. And if we don't start producing, if we don't start producing, we're not going to even have supper for dog eat, We are going to suffer because it is not sustainable borrowing your way out of debt. That's not a sustainable option. That is an option designed for failure. And you can see it coming. Ralston Iman, the guru, morning professor. Professor.
Yes, sir, morning.
Morning, Ralston. Welcome to Portland Spice TV.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
Bless up. Ralston, I tell people all the while that my respect for you, and not because me like you, and not because me didn't know you a long time or me and you grew, and not because we drink a bar together. It is because of your intellect and your ability to see the thing for what it is and call it. My respect for you has been earned, sir.
Yeah, man, and because we use data, not emotion, data.
Data.
Yeah, man.
So
an analyst is someone who uses data to draw conclusions, not gut feeling,
right,
friendship or political affiliation. Like the guys that you see running up their mouth on TV and all of those things.
Dr. Gill said when you have gut feelings, you must go to the toilet.
Correct.
Ralston, a number of things this morning. A number of things. The FinSAC archive has been out. That's up for discussion whether it makes sense or not. One. The government, even after Prime Minister Brogard Holness said the dollar is stable, 90 million US was dumped this week trying to save the dollar. That's where I want to start, Ralston. If you say the economy is doing well, the dollar is stable, how is it possible that 3 times in 1 week the Bank of Jamaica had to intervene in saving the Jamaican dollar? Talk to me.
The answer is simple. The Prime Minister don't know anything about economics and he's out of touch with the economic reality. So what he's doing is going around and spreading a whole lot of propaganda. The Bank of Jamaica had to intervene in foreign exchange with $90 million this week to get the dollar from $159.48 to $158.83, simply because the country is not focused on production and exports and not generating enough foreign exchange in order to run the economy. Just as simple as that.
So you spend 90 million US, because we want to make that clear. That is United States dollars, 90 million to save less than $1.
And hold on, this is this week. In previous weeks, they have been doing the same thing. Remember, the dollar hit the 158 barrier. Since it hit the 158 barrier, they have been intervening, and we still breach the 159 barrier and going to 160 because the country is just not generating enough foreign exchange. The trade deficit was 2.3 billion for the first 5 months of this year because exports continue to fall from a low base because Nigel Clark don't know anything about production and exports. He's just a bookkeeper moving numbers from one place to the other.
Now, Ralston, there are some serious issues laid out here. And one other thing I want you to explain to my listeners before we go any further. Spending this money to save the dollar, does it carry a positive effect or a negative effect for the country?
Because every time you intervene in the foreign exchange markets, you waste U.S. currency, and then the dollar goes back to the same level or drops even further. So it's a counterproductive, it's a wasteful exercise in futility and stupidity. What you need to do is to concentrate on production and exports and production for import substitution, because those are the things that are driving down the value of the dollar. The government is not focused on production. The Planning Institute now tells us that the economy is flatlined during the second quarter, April to June, 0.1%. So Clark's growth record is very bad.
No.
Exports continue to decline back to back for 5 straight months.
All right. So we can understand export declining as well, because what happened to our agriculture base? Is that back to where the production used to be before Beryl?
No, man. You mad?
All right. Ralston, I don't want people, I don't want to get emotional about this, because this is very bad and people don't understand. So you spend 90 million US dollars making US dollars available.
The intervention over the last 2 months is more than $200 million.
200 million US.
Over the last 2 months.
What that do to the debt? What that do to our debt? Because where we get that money from?
Well, that is from the net international reserve. So some of those money are the monies that flowed from the tourism sector, flowed from mainly remittances. So now that the remittances are declining and the exports are declining, that is why you are seeing this massive pressure on the dollar. So, for example, when they did the first intervention, they pumped 30 million in the market, but the market wanted 76.5 million, and that is why they went back again and pumped another 30 million. And that is why they went back again and pumped another 30 million, because we are really Christmas season now, and everybody is importing.
But hold on, if it needed 76 million, why you never just pump that one time instead of go 90 million over 3 times?
Well, you have to ask the governor of the Bank of Jamaica and his team about that.
Ralston, there is no production happening.
No.
Beryl destroyed the agricultural sector. The minister said it is about $10 billion worth of damage. Have they pumped that $10 billion back in agriculture yet?
No.
When they said they're going to do that?
They'll tell you that the assistance is very slow and all of those things. And then there's also the problem, apart from the damage to crops and everything, there's also the problem with the rural road network, which was already bad. So if you talk to people like Norman John, the managing director of the Mavis Bank Coffee Factory, you know, coffee is one of our biggest exports. Right. They'll tell you that the road is in a devastating state and it is leading to an increase in production cost. They can't get to the farmers to get the coffee. The farmers can't move around. Right now, the people in Ugly Gap, which is one of the farming districts in terms of coffee, they say they can't leave their houses to go to the supermarket or to go to town to buy anything because the road mash up.
So how are they getting out the coffee?
That's the point I'm making. Yeah. So they're saying it is difficult to get out the coffee in terms of the maintenance of the vehicles. So the cost of producing coffee is going up and the Japanese end is declining. So the Japanese are reluctant to pay more or to buy more coffee.
Don't carry me too far
yet. Those
yet.
are the things that we're talking about. Yeah?
Don't carry me too far yet, Ralston. I want to come back to the agriculture sector.
Where coffee is a very big part of agriculture.
Yeah, man. But where I want to zero in on is the fact that $10 billion worth of damage. How much has the government put back in there so far?
Preliminarily, it's about $3 billion, and the farmers are saying the assistance is very slow. They're giving them little fertilizer here, little fertilizer there, little this, that there, little that there, yeah. And the road network is extremely important because the people have to move the thing from point A to point B.
Tell me something crazy.
To the market.
Tell me something crazy. Wouldn't it make sense to pump the $10 billion as quick as possible back in agriculture so we can get production up and get the agriculture sector back to where it ought to be?
That is if you had a government to understand economics and production. What Nigel Clark is doing, giving away 11.45 billion to win election rather than pump it into production.
So that's where I was coming to.
Simple.
That $11 billion, wouldn't it be better spent pumping into agriculture, getting the sector back up, getting farmers excited,
of course,
and ready?
Yes.
So, is it, Ralston, that the government takes $11 billion in a loan of taxpayers' money, give it away, that you're not going to get no production from it, and still leave agriculture to suffer?
That's what they did, and that's what they're doing, and that is going to lead to more imports and more slide in the value of the dollar, because the people are taking the 20 grand and buy a wig or buy some imported goods and then stuff there, leading to more pressure on the dollar. That's why I'm telling them, don't know anything about economics.
So,
I'll say that without apology.
So they never said that they're going to run with it, but it look like they're running with it.
No, they're flying with it, not running with it, flying.
$11 billion.
When them say Omar should run with it, is I bridge them their billion. Which has value for the country.
Plus Highway 2000, I think, was a part of it.
Precisely. That's the point I'm making. They are spending the money on consumption. They are flying with it. Remember, the airport money them are used to do that. So I fly with it.
Ralston, I still staying with production for now.
Yeah, because economics is fundamentally about production. Economics is not fundamentally about collecting taxes and paying down debt. Economics is about production and distribution and creating employment. That is what economists do. Bookkeepers talk about paying down debt.
No.
Isaac Clark is a bookkeeper.
No, Ralston. Is there any country around the world that you could point us to that has used this model to recover and grow by over 3%?
No, you can't. And that is why you look at the numbers and say the economy is declining. We're now at stall speed, and already the car shut down. The next thing that happens is I'll drop over the precipice.
No, man. Is the plane going to drop? Got the plane climb and it's stall now.
Precisely. That's the point I'm making.
It need petrol, more rev to go forward.
The petrol is production. Production. You can't grow without producing. Simple. That ABC, that 101 economics. That.
But I'm not suggesting for any minute, people, that we could produce in agriculture enough to turn around the economy. But we could produce to stop buying some of the things we are importing, isn't it?
That's correct. The food import bill was almost 800 million for the first 5 months of this year. That helps to drain the foreign exchange. Yeah, we could be producing more to reduce the food import bill. We could be producing more energy to reduce the energy bill, because that is one of the biggest bills. We could be producing more and doing research and development to reduce the amount of imported capital, raw materials that we are using in the production process. We could be producing more so that we can export more. Cocoa, $7,500 per metric ton globally. If we're producing that, we'll be making money. We could be producing more as the manufacturers tell you. Them could be producing more if they were getting more inputs from the agricultural sector, because one of our basic imports, exports, agro-processing, all those things. So the fact that agriculture is down is crippling the economy, because a lot of the things that we export are agricultural based. We could be reducing the amount of killing taking place in the rural areas if we had to man them deal with sophisticated agriculture rather than dealing with scamming. So that would also reduce the amount of money that we have to spend on security.
So the bridge, the road building, the Montego Bay perimeter road, I see the Prime Minister making big out of it. I see he's out there saying that we're going to build a new airport in
rubbish. I am
Negril.
Rubbish, promise. So why you deal with the thing them now? So like I tell your wife, say, yo, baby, the next year, I'm going to do this, but I say, yo, pick them on some food right now, the toilet to I'm fixing that also I'm paying. But I tell them about the future, more I hear about now, because if you not deal with the thing them now, how you deal with future things? Them things are just can't be good.
Give us a little bit on the prediction going forward, Ralston. The next quarter and the first quarter of next year.
The next quarter, the economy will decline. The plan is to tell them 0.1% for this quarter, 0.8% for the first 6 months of this year, Barbados grew by 4.4% for the first 6 months of this year with a debt to GDP ratio of 115%. Jamaica crawled by 0.8% for the first 6 months, 0.1% for the last 3 months. The next thing is decline.
How many bad information have we gotten from this government? They told us that the travel advisory on Jamaica by the United States would not affect Jamaica tourism income. We now heard Nigel Clark in the supplementary saying that it did affect Jamaica. Right.
Yeah, misleading information. Then we tell you why Prime Minister Brogan was telling people that the dollar stable. The dollar dropped to $159.48.
While he was saying that it was stable.
While he was saying that the very minute that he was saying that was what was happening. So there's a whole lot of cluelessness and propaganda. If you notice, most of their psychophants are now silent because them see the results are play out. Them nobody talk about the economy. That's why they switch to FinSac now, because them now have the economic record to talk on. So they FinSac now.
They post the FinSac archive to try and muddy the water.
Yeah, man.
Let's go there.
Yeah, man.
The FinSac archive, Ralston. It make any sense?
No, it don't make any sense because I'm spending $150 million. All the shot was the
most
pompous about.
Hold on. That $150 million was spent when? 2016?
Yeah.
Or it started in 2007?
It started in 2009.
All right. The question I want to ask you before I go any further. What is the value of that $150 million now? Then the value then.
Well, if you look at that now, that would be like $300-400 million now.
So it was good money.
Yeah, good money at that time. At that time,
exactly, and that's why I ask. And that's why I ask you to compare the value. What that would look like now.
That's why I'm telling you, like $300 million at that time. The exchange rate was 76 and change. We're now 150 and change twice. Yeah.
So we spent close to half of. Well, let's call it 300 million.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it as 300 million. And we got no report.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the dead minister was saying that the report is going to be published. The report is going to publish the Great Art Show.
But I was reading an article this morning. And from the article I was reading this morning, Ralston, there are still people in the parliament that makes part of that report. And in fact, in the article, Omar Davis was saying that he might call out the names of people who were sitting in parliament at that time. And I'm saying those people are still in the parliament now. Do you believe it's a conflict of interest why a report was not produced?
Yeah, man. No, me not believe. Me know that. Remember, I mean, it's a shadow Omar, so I know everything will take place. Yeah, man.
So, the archives out there, isn't this also a recipe for confusion?
Nigel Clark did that as part of the political, just like when he did the 11.4 billion, that was part of his final shot, political propaganda. That's why I'm in a rating. Yeah. Yeah, rate Nigel Clark.
No, Ralston, I know you don't rate him, but you have to give him some props because the man navigate the thing in a way that if you don't open your eyes, you will believe that he's the best thing.
Yeah.
He speaks well.
Well, as somebody who I have more experience than him, I'm going to rate him because I'm not saying appear foolishness and bankrupt the country. The fact that you have to spend 12 billion of money when you earn it, 12 years of money when you earn it, and then you take the money and do foolishness. You bankrupt the country. If he was a real scholar, he would have read about Professor Paul Samuelson. Paul Samuelson is the uncle of Larry Summers. Paul Samuelson used to be the economic advisor to U.S. President John Fitzgerald Kennedy. He teach at MIT and Harvard. He said, the surest way one generation can place a burden on the next generation is to leave a massive debt and to run down the human capital and physical infrastructure of the country. As Justice Sykes, I tell you, everything in Jamaica run down. Courthouse run down, road run down, bridge run down. The people in hardly get now, them can't get to go buy some food. You follow me? So, rubbish, man. Yeah, you spend future earnings for consumption today. Yeah, so you tell your wife, say, yo, never borrow some money when we forget 12 years from now to spend now. She sensible, she knows in the future that's for the pick to them. Bankrupt, you're bankrupt. When you have to use future money, it means that you're bankrupt. Nigeria can't bankrupt the economy and leave the economy in decline, run down the whole of the country's infrastructure. So how we can rate it?
What is the importance, though, Ralston? Because there must be some importance of the tax return. Is it?
There's no importance except political, man. What can be the importance of that? You use future money to give it out. And you know, spend, if they spend upon courthouse them and the road them and productive base of the country and big up agriculture and big up the road them and big up the school them and big up the courthouses them, then I say it makes sense because those things will help us to earn money in the future. When people get them money, all they say them are head for the rum bar, them are head for the shop, them are head for the hairdresser, and just wasted money.
I said to somebody the other day.
They don't say, them children's money they must spend. As Bob Marley said, you eat your bread off tomorrow.
But what I said to some people, that anybody who is in need, who need $20,000, will not be able to get this $20,000.
Correct.
Anybody who needs, not want, needs $20,000, not in a position to get any.
It's an outrageous vote buying exercise, man. A squander in the future. Man.
But Ralston, people said to you, say Guyana is giving $1,000 to every household.
Yeah, why Guyana is doing that? Guyana is the fastest growing economy in the world because of its mineral and oil resources. That's a completely different thing. They have the money, they can afford it. Them not give money with them not earn it. They might give money with them earn already and them know so they're going to earn a bag of money down the road. Guyana is the fastest growing economy in the world.
So let's explain.
Hold on. Apart from Haiti, Jamaica is the slowest growing economy in the Caribbean. Remember that.
So hold on. So Guyana is giving that money from money that they presently have.
Yeah, man, oil resources.
Right.
Guyana full of money with them oil resources.
So we'll make it simple to the listeners. This $11 billion that the government is giving away, they don't have it.
They must sell the revenues that they're supposed to get from Norman Manley Airport for the next 12 years in order to get them money there.
What was that revenue used for leading up to this giveaway? And we're going back to
it used to go to the consolidated fund, the budget, and them use it and do all kind of things.
Anything that the government wanted.
Precisely.
So it's not. So does the government have enough to do all that they want to do?
No.
So
remember, Nigel Clark couldn't fund the 45 billion when the budget just started. So this is the source that him getting the money from.
So this is a straight political gimmicks.
Yeah, man.
So they are using the country's resources for the future, for political expediency.
Yeah, for win election. No, simple. Put it straight.
Are the people seeing that, Ralston?
No.
You are on the radio every day. No, not every day. 5 days a week.
We have to make the people know that is a squandering of the future, but average man not see it. So it is our duty to let them know because we are the fourth estate and we are here to protect the country. We are there to protect the political party and a guy. Yeah?
It's about Jamaica.
Know. Yeah.
What is the opposition's responsibility in all of this?
Tell the people what the government is going to use the money for and to tell them of the dangers that is going to have for the future. Simple.
And the people are going to listen to them?
Well, they have to do it. So them can't say, boy, the people have not listen, so we not talk. If we never said that, we would have stopped talk already. But we have to talk. Yeah, repetition is the best form of pedagogy. So you have to repeat it.
Yeah. Play it like a tune.
Yeah, man.
Because the truth is the truth, and that's what we talk here on a Saturday morning.
Precisely.
We're talking to Ralston Iman, the #1 financial analyst in Jamaica. He's on Power 106 every morning, real business, from 9 to 11. Check him out and understand what is happening in the financial sector in Jamaica. Ralston, we know we're on FinSap, but this is something that has been on my mind for a couple of weeks, and I have to put it to you. Ralston Iman, have been saying for years, a long time we are talk, and you've been saying that Dr. Nigel Clark was running the economy in favor of our banks.
Mm-hmm.
We also saw where Fitz Jackson brought table legislation in the parliament to change some of the ways the bank deals with the people. it went to a vote, and the present administration voted against it. So they voted in favor of the banks to continue to charge us for deposits and withdrawal and to keep our money. Now, we have seen where the Prime Minister, because the chairman of the Integrity Commission said what they put in the report is not opinion. They are facts. So we see where the Integrity Commission said the Prime Minister is actively trading in stocks and bonds, doing business with the banks and seen as one bank as a premium client. Does that now come back to what you were saying, that they were running the country in the favor of the banks? Are those
We all knew that. We all knew that. When the Fitzjackson bill came up, everybody in the government came to Parliament and voted against the bill. You with me? We also, right now, even greater evidence right now, the Bank of Jamaica recently reduced the benchmark rate or the signal rate from 7% per annum to 6.5% per annum. And no bank has announced any rate reduction to any of their clients. Instead, they have raised the fees. Nigel Clark spent a whole lot of time in the Parliament last week, and he never called upon the banks to reduce their lending rates to their clients. What is that telling you? The economy is in a recession, and the banks have not reduced their benchmark rates. The Federal Reserve Board, the American Central Bank, which is the most powerful independent central bank in the world, reduced their rates by 50 basis points. The IMF and the World Bank says this now gives countries like Jamaica a chance to reduce their rates in order to accelerate growth. And the banks, led by Mrs. Audrey Tugwell anyway, the president of the Bankers Association, none of them reduced their lending rates. Instead, they reduced their fees.
They increased their fees.
Every single one, including the miscellaneous one. And the minister spoke in Parliament, and the Prime Minister has been going around making all kinds of promises. And none of them called upon the banks to reduce their lending rates, fully knowing that you can't talk about economic growth with this kind of lending rates in the banking system. So it tells you. Simple.
Ralston, let's go back to FinSAC now. We could go back in.
And there's a correlation between FinSAC and banks, because it's the banks that created the problem with FinSAC are part of the problem. So they are the ones, it's again the banking system.
Ralston, trace the DNA of SSL for me. Can you?
Well, one of the biggest contributor to the financial meltdown was the Eagle Group. Yeah? SSL was formerly what we call Paul Chen and Company. That was the stockbroking arm of the Eagle Group. You with me? Yeah, the man who used to run SSL, Mr. Cross Perry, he was the man who was running Paul Chenyo and Company, the stockbroking arm of the Eagle Group. So that's where it came from. They went down with 14 billion and change for the taxpayers.
That is in the FinSAC era.
40 billion FinSAC money that we're talking about. To them amount was $14 billion.
14 million.
Billion.
And if we equate that today to today's money,
that would be like 50 billion now.
Oh, hallelujah.
Yep.
Real money we're talking about, because back in the day, the dollar was better valued.
Yeah, man.
So the DNA of SSL come from down there, sir?
Yeah, man, from the Eagle Group.
The bloodline.
Yeah, man.
No, I said to you earlier, there are people presently in the Parliament that was bailed out by FinSAC. Isn't that so?
I'll tell you, yeah, man. That's why you can't get the report.
I wonder if any of them persons that are on the PNP side who got bailed out from FinSAC.
No, not right now.
Well, I said nobody on the PNP side never get bailed out from FinSAC.
No, not right now. Yeah.
Oh,
not who's in the current PNP setup.
So which side then upon? I don't know. But people in the Parliament.
Ask yourself why the report can't be published and why you get transcripts instead of the report.
Are you confident, Ralston, that all the material unearthed by the inquiry has been uploaded to this archive?
No, man, then you're Nigel Clark saying redact some of the information, man, and take out some of the information because we would have followed the thing. At that time, I was the financial editor of the Sunday Herald, and we know of people who borrow money from Central National Bank and say them forgot to pay.
Who that?
30 million US dollars. Them kind of 30 million US dollars are enough more money.
The American born?
Of course.
Oh, an American born. Borrowed 30 billion.
I would know who was the accountant in the place when he said that.
Well, and 30 million, right?
30 million US dollars. There might be enchanted gardens in your place, like Carinosa.
No, man, in a Ochi.
In a center and Ochi.
And I said to you, Ralston, and that was the project that Port Antonio was destroyed for. The tourism sector in Port Antonio was destroyed to ensure that Enchanted Gardens was successful.
Correct.
Down there in Ocherios.
Yep.
So you see the history, my people. And then the man forgot to pay the loan.
Yeah, and we know who was the amateur accountant in the office when they forgot to pay the loan.
Oh, it's...
So I get the report.
Is somebody in the parliament who was the accountant?
Yeah, the amateur accountant at the time. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
So, can we then really say that there's a full archive of the FinSAC from the FinSAC inquiry?
No, then Nigel Clark, I'll tell you himself, Nigel Clark himself, to the people themselves not publish everything, man.
So, man, then keep that. Or anybody going, I heard some academics talking about it and said that they are going to now look at it. But what can they find from it if everything is not there?
Them never find nothing.
Because if
and them shouldn't even have to look on that to find out nothing. Because if them did not follow where I go another country them time, then would not know, so this is just rubbish.
Ralston, remember break up. What caused the meltdown in the 80s and 90s? Because that meltdown started from the 80s.
All right,
what caused it?
Yeah. In 1989 when the government changed, February 2nd, 1989 when the government changed, right? Mr. SHACKA went over to the Bank of Jamaica. He was Minister of Finance. Remember, I used to have a bogus auction at 550 when he used to tell man, say, you can't come at the auction today, you can't come at the auction today. It was a market determined, a bogus auction. And then the dollar start moving and go over to Bank of Jamaica and tell the man, and say, boy, the dollar will fly. Right? So when a finance minister says something like that, you know, say it has impact on the market. So the dollar starts fly to 650. Right? Then the PSOJ, the same PSOJ, that's why you never hear nothing from the PSOJ about this FinSAC thing. Then tell Michael, say, yo, just liberalize everything and free up everything. Right?
Yeah.
So September 1990, we liberalize the economy. It means that you can go to the country with any amount of money and all of them things, right? You never have no appropriate regulations in terms of the banking sector. We never have no net international reserves. So you hear enough money talk about net international reserves, enough of the money. When at that time the reserves were minus 500 million US dollars. You hear me?
So we never have no money. We owe money.
We're underwater.
We owe money from the reserve.
Precisely. So the Bank of Jamaica couldn't intervene at the foreign exchange market like what have reserves and them can't intervene now. If I make a Omar, make them can't do them thing, you know. Yes, and that's it. All right.
Yeah.
So as a result of that, now after liberalization, the dollar dropped from 7 to 21. Inflation jumped to 80%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a proliferation of banks and merchant banks and this and that and all kind of something. You follow me?
Yeah.
Right. So when Omar became finance minister in 1992 now, because inflation was 80%, and jack up the interest rates. Yeah. So I saw you find out the high interest rate regime. So it was a combination of the premature liberalization, the high interest rate regime, and the thief in bank of them. Because two of them know them have the regulations to regulate now. Them do all kind of things with the people and money.
Yeah.
So if you notice, every bank at that time have a big building. So you notice the Eagle Group them build this massive complex of a Manor Park.
Yes.
Yeah. Then Rylands build this massive complex, Corporate Merchant Bank build this massive complex on Trafalgar Road. Yeah. Central National Bank, this massive complex downtown. NCB Group, massive towards them. You see the towards them, Mutual Life towards and all of them things. So they might take the people their money and tied up in a concrete. When you put your money in a bank, demand deposit being set. If me put my money at the banks now and go to the road and turn back and say, "Boy, about the money," I'm supposed to be able to get it back.
Of course, yes.
But when them take the people them money in a building now, them can't give back the people them money now, and then resort to the BOJ to borrow money.
Because these banks were no longer liquid.
Precisely. Yeah, so they have to borrow from the BOJ. So after them build up all of this thing. Yeah. So people go now and them can't get their money and start a run. A run on a bank means a man go and say, "Yo, you know, so go to so I'm gonna get no money, brother," and I'm telling friend them and friend them.
And everybody start go for their money.
And all so the system start collapse. It starts with Blaze Trust and Merchant Bank. The fish part CVM there.
Yeah.
And there's a Blaze Trust and Merchant Bank that was for them complex.
Okay.
Then, in 1994. Then it got to Century National Bank in 1996. Then Workers Bank, the corporate group, then the Eagle Group, and I saw the whole deck of cards come crumbling down. So you hear a lot of people know. Then I claim that FinTech was the problem. FinTech was the solution. FinTech was formed on January 29, 1997 by Omar, headed by Dr. Glaston and Bonnet. What FinTech was to do now is to take off the bad debt them where the banks them have. Yeah?
But hold on, Ralston, before you reach up there, sir. You those banks. At that time, there were other banks in Jamaica. We had Scotia was in Jamaica at that time.
Yeah, man, you have Scotia and Citibank, and them banks never go down because them banks they had the prudent things. Them man never get themselves mixed up in other world for garbage.
What you say a while ago, those banks were doing prudent things?
Yeah, because they have to get instructions from them headquarters, so them never do the foolishness where them outside.
So what were some of the foolishness that these banks were doing?
Yeah, me I tell you, I build up a whole for a big building and them thing there and I pay themselves one bag of money. Delroy, Lindsay, Dan Crawford, Paul Chen Young. Get me I say to you? Yeah? And you have all, as I said, man, I borrow money and say them forgot for pay. You have
so hold on. When the man borrowed the money and forgot for pay, the bank never take the asset where him use secure the loan?
No, that is what I say. When the bank gets FinTech now, then all of them to take place because it was a friend and company business. Everybody are breaking. You know, so you have all man who give all 10 banks the same collateral. So you use a car and borrow money and get 10 banks the same car.
Hold on. In the Integrity Commission report, they were saying that a loan of $50 million was given on some securities that weren't even present at the time. That sounds similar to this.
Them to that do the financial sector crisis, man. That's what I talk about.
But that's what I say. But it's something in this report here sounds similar to what you just explained.
Yeah, man. That's the point I'm making. Yeah, man.
Continue.
Same thing. So that one. So when Omar found FinTech under Dr. Bonnet now, what FinTech, I take off all of the bad loans them and the bad debt them and try to sell them to get back the money that the Bank of Jamaica extended to most of these banks. And even after we get it back, the taxpayers have had 40 billion because the government have to pay out everybody and make sure that the people who have their money get back their money, insurance policies and all of them stuff there. Yeah, if the economy that collapse, it costs us $140 billion to make sure that the system that collapse. And all of them money who culpable runway. So why not tell people why them money runway? Why Paul Chen Young did runway? Why Dan Crawford runway? Why Delroy Lindsay runway?
PNP run them or PNP runway man them?
Oh, okay.
No, sir.
Yeah, okay, I hear you.
Ralston. So here we are now at this place. Have we learned from that meltdown?
Well, people like me learn. I don't know if the man them who not publish the report learn anything because they might use the politics. And what we should have done is to ensure that the people of the country learn a lesson from that. But when you hide the information or try to politicize the information, yeah, it now learn nothing. Because one of the questions more I ask Nigel Clark, how is it that the Omar record better than your record off of FinTech? I asked him that yesterday and tell him to call me and tell me and all one still can't call me and I said to him again, man, bro God. How is it that Omar's economic record better than food record after the terrible things that happened at FinTech? So for example, when Omar took over as finance minister, we never have no reserve. But I believe it was $2.4 billion.
Mm-hmm.
When Omar took over as finance minister, after FinTech, we're talking about 2007. How come the economy only grew by 3%? The last time the economy grew by 3% in 2007 after FinTech. How come poverty was 9% after FinTech and now Nigel Clark poverty are more than 20%? How come the economy grew by 3% after FinTech and Nigel Clark rate now is 0.1%? How come? Yeah.
But pull on, Ralston, you just said
yeah.
poverty is 20%.
Yeah.
But
Poverty
explain,
was 9%.
make this make sense for me. We have the lowest unemployment ever in Jamaica.
All right.
But poverty is up. Poverty is 20%.
Because what you call employment? What kind of work the people, man? What cost of living? After FinTech, inflation was 5%. Inflation is now 5.7%. Nigel Clark needs to explain them things.
I want to ask you something about.
Since I'm a magician and I'm a genius, he needs to explain all of that.
Help me with this, Ralston. In the 90s, before the meltdown and during the meltdown, what were the structures in place to supervise, protect the banking sector?
We never have none, and that is why Omar upgraded the banking. That is why Omar created the Financial Services Commission. That is why Omar created the Jamaica Deposit Insurance Corporation. None of those things existed before Omar Davies became finance minister.
What is the role of the Financial Service Commission?
Is to regulate the non-deposit taking institutions such as insurance companies, securities dealers, and them kind of people.
And that includes places like SSL.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
Now, Ralston, I want to take you to a
Brian
place.
Winter was the first executive director of the FSC. The point I make here is that Omar Davies built financial institutions and also had a better economic record. Nigel Clark has built no institution and him run down the country to nothing, bankrupt the country. So,
but I want to reach a place, because I am seeing something and I want you to tell me if it is valid. So the FSC, when the SSL saga break, the chairman of the FSC resigned. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Why did he resign? Can you remember?
Them fired.
Why?
Because them said him talk out a turn.
You remember?
Nigel Clark fired him. Everton McFarlane.
But was it that they were saying that him never report on SSL?
No. Nigel Clark said he couldn't find the report.
But when Nigel Clark found the report in his office, what happened?
Nothing never happened.
So
he not address it. In Nigel Clark never said more about SSL until you send Bolt out what the money where they have.
But the man, the chairman.
The 5 computers then get teeth. Whatever you're not Nigel Clark.
But Olano Ralston, the chairman was fired because they are saying that him never do him work. No, sir.
Well, that's not true because the man sent the report to get him.
No, we know that now. But even after he was fired and the report was found, it just goes up.
Yeah, nothing was done. You said the last time Nigel Clark talked about SSL when you send both the other day saying they get back in money. Even them thief the 5 computer, whatever you done from Nigel Clark.
So we have the FinSAC archive. We have a similar case that happened now.
Yeah.
Even after safeguards were put in place.
Correct.
But will Usain Bolt get back his money, Ralston Iman?
No, unless we the taxpayers give it back.
Will that have an impact on Jamaica if him not get it back?
Yeah?
Will it have an impact on Jamaica if Usain Bolt don't get back his money?
Well, I quote, in answer the question, I quote Nigel Clark himself. Mr. Speaker, this is going to have a deleterious impact on Jamaica's international image. And that's why we leave no stone unturned. We're going to bring in Scotland Yard. We're going to bring in FBI. Yeah, Nigel Clark.
What, 3 years later?
Yeah, man.
3 years later, Usain Bolt not get back his money.
We'll get back in money.
And Nigel Clark is going off to the
next week. He's running away next week. Yep.
How does that look? Does that have a good international look on a proud nation?
No. Could never.
What is the way forward, Ralston?
Well, right now, the way forward is that the people of Jamaica have to examine everything, look at them life and see, said, the country is bankrupt. The infrastructure, in terms of physical infrastructure, is in rubble. The educational infrastructure is in rubble. Only 18% of our children can pass more than 5. CXC subject. So I tell you that the future is bleak and that they need to make a particular decision based on wisdom and not by just selling their votes for the $20,000. They must realize that them future and them children and them grandchildren's future bigger than $20,000. And then make that appropriate decision.
When are we going to see a ramp up of any sort of production in Jamaica so that an economy can be grown out of real earnings?
Well, I mean, it is very hard to tell you how that is going to happen under the current dispensation because Nigel Clark is leaving and the whoever becomes the new finance minister, I'll just follow what him did I do.
Let us...
Because what Nigel Clark was doing was approved by the Prime Minister. So again, the people have a decision to make as to whether this is what they want and whether this is appropriate for them.
Because all of Nigel Clark's decisions are cabinet decisions, right?
Yeah, precisely.
Which have collective responsibility, my brother.
Yeah,
that is it.
Yeah, man. So the people have a decision to make whether they want to continue like this. Yeah, no production, no future. The only thing you're producing is murder and scamming and those things.
Tell me though, Ralston, it's closer now to that time. Who is going to be the finance minister?
Well, I hear they're touting this fella named Alak Jean.
Name what?
Alak Jean, an Indian fellow. So they have not told us officially, but we hear that in the rumor mill. Alak Jean was an accountant and used to work with PricewaterhouseCoopers, who they say is an advisor to the Prime Minister. So if he's an advisor to the Prime Minister and these are the policies that are being pursued, as I say, you're going to get more of the same.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
Yeah,
but
man,
I've never heard this name before.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. He used to work with Pricewaterhouse. I knew his father well.
So he's gonna be he's gonna be the junior minister.
Yeah, man.
That's not the question I ask you, Ralston. Who going to be the minister?
Well, I don't know who is going to be the minister because it is difficult for the Prime Minister to become the minister with his record and his current problems with the IC. That would be a very bad decision, and that's something that the people of Jamaica must not accept.
Cannot accept that.
Yeah,
he must clear his name before him can become no finance minister around here.
Yeah,
in fact, he need to resign as Prime Minister and go clear his name. Much less to take on anymore.
Well, yeah, man, I agree, 100%.
So if we say good sense going to prevail and the Prime Minister not going to take it up, then who?
Well, I don't know. That's the problem, and that's the one thing that is leading to a loss of confidence in the country because we have been on autopilot in terms of our finance minister for quite a while. And
who is the junior minister now?
There's no Xavier Main or something like that. Well, yeah. So there's no body of consequences.
Xavier Main is the junior minister, but I've never heard him spoke on the issue.
No, man. Nigel Clark run everything, man. Nigel Clark run the country.
But then even since Nigel decided to leave, you know, think him should have put some responsibility upon him and
yeah, of course. But again, them not have the confidence now, so they might look elsewhere.
So why did they put him there as junior minister?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
Yeah, that's why they might look for somebody outside because they don't have the confidence now. So that don't make sense.
Somebody's saying that with all the turmoil and the information coming out now in Jamaica, they think Gene and Panton should be released from jail.
Well, boys, they might really have her as a sacrificial lamb, brother.
You think Flavor will go and get the nod?
No, man, that would have been a monumental exercise in stupidity, man. She carry money the education ministry.
All right, so if not Flavor, then Ralston, who? Give me a name.
I don't know, sir. I can't tell you because the argument was that the Prime Minister would go there and they would have Alak as the junior minister, but the Prime Minister can't go there.
Cannot touch it.
No.
Not paying tax, accused of not paying his taxes, filing nil tax of a company that doing business. He can't look over there.
He can't go there, man. If we do that, we'll come like would be a banana republic.
Getting a loan in recent time from a financial institution.
No, man, I have to clear him name first for the IC before that can man.
No, I'm they are say oldness are taking it, you know. They are say oldness taking it.
Well, that would be a very bad situation, brother. And if we allow that, it means that we're not dealing with nothing.
Ralston, a couple of things before I let you go. What is Jamaica's earning on average now? What in compared to US annually, what we're earning?
Just about 6,000 per capita.
$6,000 per capita. The average Jamaican
Well,
earns
the lowest in the Caribbean, only 80 below.
per year.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
Only 80 in the Caribbean below.
Only 80.
Mm-hmm.
And we're boasting a GDP of what? Debt to GDP of what? 70%?
72%, and them say it's all go down to 67%.
Ralston, finally, before you go, explain to my people before me. Because there are countries that have low GDP, countries like Trinidad and Tobago, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia. And you wonder why their GDP is so low, and then you sound like Jamaica's GDP going down is not a good thing because you have countries like the United States where their GDP is like 125%, China nearly 200%. Explain to me what happened in that scenario.
The countries with the fastest debt, the highest debt to GDP ratio are the fastest growing economies in the entire world, because the whole thing about government intervention, President Biden's initiative and all of those things help to drive GDP higher. So if you look at the fastest growing economies, America is 125%, China is 263%, Japan is 258%, the United Kingdom and Great Britain, we'll call mother countries, 100%, France is 107%. All those economies, the top economies in the world, they have high debt to GDP ratios because they have good social security programs that have to be funded by government, and they have proper infrastructure, proper education, proper this. That's why they grow faster.
And when they borrow, they put it into production.
Yep. Simple.
All right. So
that's why they grow faster.
So tell me about the countries with the lower GDP, the Kuwaits, the Trinidad, the Saudi Arabia.
You know what is peculiar about all those countries? They have oil.
All right.
Simple.
So them have income coming in. They're generating their income.
Precisely.
Them have them own money.
Everybody have to buy oil because we live in an energy-intensive economy. Simple. Answer to them things are simple. Them things are simple economics.
And Jamaica's economy now, what is happening to us in terms of our GDP, where we need to go so that we can live a better life?
We have to start producing more. So it means that we have to be spending more on agriculture, the rural road network, spending more on education, more on research and development, focusing more on exports. You with me? Those things. Build out our infrastructure, build out our technology, educate our people properly. Because if you don't have educated people, you can't have high value production. So that's why, despite the low levels of unemployment, the people support, because they're not in the work. Them know the China send things from China, yeah, or a talk on phone to people. That is not high value work.
Wow. Somebody's asking if the Prime Minister have a degree in economics.
No, he have some form of development, something like that, them saying that.
Oh, okay. Ralston, anything you want to leave with us before you go?
Well, what we're saying to the people of Jamaica, the fact that you have to be selling future earnings to fund current consumption means that you are getting poorer and poorer. You just bring it to a household level. If you have to spend money when you're earning in order to live now, it tells you that you need to start producing more because you're a banker. Simple.
Ralston Iman, Real Business, Power 106, Mondays to Fridays from 9 to 11. Blessings and thanks, my brother.
All right. Always a pleasure. Bless
One
up.
love.
Bless up.
One love.
Oh, yeah.
You get a lesson this morning. Jamaican economics. You get a lesson. And I'm saying to my people, morning. Turn off your device and listen to your phone.
Yeah, man. I'm doing that. Sorry about that.
Talk to me.
Yeah, it's a pity. Although this question might be cliche, but we still ask it, Mr. Ben.
Go right
and
ahead.
I want to ask, this 300% increase that the government took for themselves. And at the time when they were taking it, they said Jamaica was the best performing economy, so get super taxes so they could do it. But in retrospect, was that true though?
No.
And the next follow-up question to that, does that massive, I mean, overwhelming and what do you call it now? Scandalous increase that they got at the time when Jamaica's economy was going down and the people were suffering. How could a government in our good conscience give themselves that level of increase when the country was doing so badly, sir? So just answer them two questions. Why them do it and why the private sector and those entities, why them never speak out?
Let me tell you something. My assessment of this whole thing is that a whole heap of the people we have in the parliament are in there for money and not for service. And if you look at the Integrity Commission report, I have been saying it on this program since then, that we shouldn't have a prime minister, a hustle and a juggle while he's in office. That should never happen.
That is a given, brethren. That is a given.
And therefore, if you're in it for the money, because a whole heap of money did there, you know. When you're in government, you're circled by a whole heap of money. They're around you. So if you really want to scam money did it for your scam. If you want to hustle, you can hustle. And that's why I've been saying to people that a sitting prime minister should not be doing any other business but running the country. And that's why PGA parties made the decision that your pension would be a salary. Talk to me.
But you want, boss. The man talk a good talk even when he was swearing, you know, that he was not in it for the politician to benefit. They are in it to make the people's life better. You might have excerpt of that video that he said it.
Yeah, man.
But he still did otherwise. And the next thing, how can you and him say work hard? But to my mind, Mr. Bell, if you are in office and you say you work hard, you must work hard for the people, for the good of the people you represent, since you are the people's servant.
That's the only.
It can't be that you work hard for yourself.
You are the chief servant, sir. You are the chief servant. So I see a lot of people asking which part of the report said the Prime Minister thief no money from taxpayers. The report never said the Prime Minister thief $1 from taxpayers.
The himself can't give account for it.
The report don't know.
Yes.
You understand? Because the Prime Minister,
I refuse to tell them.
The Prime Minister is moving over 450 million, maybe 470 million between accounts and a salary of 12 million annually. You understand? So those questions need to be answered.
But as you raise that and the people are saying that, I'm not seeing the chat. I'm happy that you bring about that point. But when you say that, Mr. Bell, how is it you can have them companies there and generate the money there and them not no workers, them not no production plan, them not make nothing, them not produce nothing, and them not involved in a construction. When them do, them not have a workforce, them not paying taxes. So how that go?
Them filing nil return. And you have people a circle wagon I say nothing wrong. We're not saying
you generate your funds and your production now go.
Talk to me. Why should the Prime Minister have a company? Hold on. Hear the question. Hear the question. Why should the Prime Minister have a company that the company's client is the Jamaica Labour Party? One of its clients is the Jamaica Labour Party. And Labour right now see that as a conflict of interest? Labour right think that all right?
Yeah, but with the rest of the company, we have them money like Imperium. What them do?
Little more, may I take our next call?
All right, brother.
What go on, youth? Me bring up my sister. DP.
Morning, sir.
Where I say? I have Dr. Oliver Rose on the call as well. Doctor, good morning.
I just have a quick question.
Doc, I don't hear you. You're mute.
Yeah, I realize I'm muted. Right. Sorry. Good morning.
Oh, you do. Welcome.
I'm good. I'm good.
Go ahead, DP.
So the last thing that when you asked Ayman if you want to leave with you made mention of if you're spending money that you haven't earned. What I don't remember. I don't like when people are supposed to be intelligent use adjectives to describe people. Them stupid, them a fool, straight up, me not rate them something that sound personal.
Yeah.
But he said something I don't want misquoting. Oh, can you recall what he said or rephrase?
No, but ask the question that you are asking. Let me see if I the same thing with me.
I wanted to match it up with what he said, but more on the exact. But my thing is, that means everybody who have a mortgage or take any form of loan were idiots?
No.
Because that is spending money that you haven't earned.
No, hold on.
I have run business, as you know, and me get loan, and that is spending money where we never did earn.
No, but him had for consumption. No left after part the way in a thing where him say. Him say you're taking your earnings. Well, it's not even money we're not earning now, money we are gonna earn. But you take it today and I use it for consumption.
But even you use a term that is misleading, Colin, because they say it's a loan. How can something be owed to you and it's a loan?
Well, it's not
that owed. No sense.
Hold on. All right, I withdraw that in terms of saying it's a loan.
And
but hold on.
Now.
It is both in a DP. It is both
no,
because
Colin, no,
hold
sir.
on. What he's doing is taking a loan on it. No. It's a loan. He might take on it now, you know.
So Colin, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If you have a rental service and I say I want a 7-seater for 3 months, right?
Yeah.
You normally just charge weekly or daily, and I say I want for 3 months. If I'm coming to Jamaica for Christmas and I send you the 3 months up front, I gave you a loan?
No.
Exactly.
No, but you're taking but you're taking that
prepayment.
No man, that's different. Because if the rent is due, let's say you're renting something from me for 10 years. Yeah? And I take all of the 10 years payment now. It's actually a loan, you know, that will be paid back from that source. So you take the loan, but the source is that income. So that income don't come back to me anymore. Every month it come to you, but what I get upfront is a loan. Some people call it forward payment, but it's still a loan.
But that's what it is, Colin. It cannot be something that is owed to you. If you get it ahead of time, it cannot be a loan, sir.
It is DP because it's not due.
Even more as a deposit.
If you want to call it a deposit, if you want to call it a deposit, but it's not due. All right, so
it's not a loan.
All right, fine. I give you that. I give you that. It's earnings. What is the point? It's earnings.
Sir.
So what is the point?
So I was saying, and you actually, that's why I didn't want to misspeak. That's why I asked you what I don't know why your phone sounds so. I can't recall hearing him say for consumption. But if he said that, then I take it back. Because I'm saying people do this.
Yeah, man, he did say you using it for consumption. Because that's where, remember what I was saying, you know. It would be better if him to take it and use it, give back the agriculture sector to bring back that sector, because that would be production. But him just a gateway.
And my question to you is, if that was the case, would PMP still not saying that is vote buying?
But that DP, no matter what nobody wants to say about that, that is investing in production.
I understand.
So if a man want to call it politics, buying vote, so be it. Make him say that. But you can now show that here is the agriculture sector that was destroyed. Me said it all cost $10 billion. Me a put it back in it to get it up so we can ease down upon the importation of food what we need.
Gotcha.
That's different.
But anyways, I find it interesting how there are people like you and Iman that every day on the command on the sound like Jamaica crash.
It is crashing. It is crashing.
The plane is going to drop out of the sky.
Yeah.
But yet still, we have international agency who giving us ratings and improving our ratings. So it's not adding up, Colin.
DP.
People are not partisan.
Hold on. I want to play something for you when I add up. I'm going to play your clip.
No, I'm not going to do the whataboutism with you.
No, man.
To make a point, and that is the point I'm making.
All right,
I am saying
that's all right.
those of us who are not in the country, who don't align to no party, because men are not PMP and a JLP, I find it like a misnomer. Like, you guys are on the ground and you're complaining that Jamaica is going to crash.
All right.
And Jamaica is at the worst stage, and Jamaica whatever. But international rating agency have been approving us. So I find it weird. This is just like when America themselves come out and say travel advisory, don't go to Jamaica. But then I see bloggers even from Africa and even America going to places like where I'm from, Portland, and saying, listen, ignore those people because they must say whatever. I am on the ground, I'm not seeing it. So I find it at the opposite. You guys are on the ground and you're painting this doom and gloom every single day. But people on the internet say, no rating's good. So explain that to me, please, sir.
Welcome back, Doc.
Thank
DP,
you.
Yes, sir.
I hear your question. I want you to hang up and listen. I have Dr. Olivia Rose after talk to her. Well, she don't mind being on the phone, but I want to play this clip for you, DP, because...
All right, me gone, man. I work with it. So
yes,
answer is all right. I'll just...
Yes, no, but me play your answer. Because what DP is saying is that we're painting doom and gloom. And I did say this morning that the economy a crash. Say it. Because it a crash for you. Hold on, I send cross this. It says it come cross. Hold on there. I'm not seeing it. I want to play a clip here for DP. Yeah, because a whole heap of things are happening at Jamaica. And people outside now hear them. So when we talk about these things, them say we are paying doom and gloom. So listen this.
Will linger as several people in Clarendon remain in temporary shelters over 3 months after the passage of the storm. Radio Jamaica News visited one of the temporary shelters still in operation, where 10 people are being housed as they have nowhere else to call home. Clarendon was among the hardest hit parishes in central and southern Jamaica. One resident, Patsy Elvey, says she has lost hope as she is receiving no assistance.
Yesterday, the man where I did the paperwork for the house come and tell me that my name come up on the list, so I not get no house. Not even check we no get in a shelter. I know nobody na assist me with nothing. Sometimes they send the food come a long time, they don't give me no food. We have to find food to sell. Every day we have to find food to sell. Call up a party yesterday and tell me say no check not the for me. Me sign up more one time. Me not see my way out. Cause right now me dey on fretting situation. Cause me not know how we go. No when we know how we go. Cause when other people then get you on and go out of shelter, where me go? Me not know where we go.
Shelter resident Patsy Elvey. Another resident, Randall Johnson, says supply rations have also been meager. He says it is difficult to stay afloat.
The shelter manager, them say a bag of sugar come and take us up a 7 pound of sugar come with the shelter. Now I have nowhere to go. Them say, me not apply for house and then say, me can't apply for house. Them all fix a house for me. So yesterday, when me see the man come, then can't work, they go take picture and everything right up. They say them want a letter to say, yes, I'm my land. So me get the letter for Mr. Maroon, send it up. When yesterday come now, me hear the man say, boy, we need to come off of the list. Stressed out, man, cause right now, I'm strong nerves all. The shelter manager, cause if the shelter manager leave right now, today shelter locked down.
I'm going to stop that clip there because I want to play one more DP. You say international agencies are rating Jamaica. Listen this.
Bank forecast.
Hold on.
So the World Bank forecast for growth in the Caribbean for 2024 starts with Ghana up at 43%, and we know oil and gas. St. Vincent and the Grenadines 5%, Dominica 4.6%, Belize 4.3%, Haiti negative growth, meaning contraction, negative 4.2%, Barbados 3.9%, St. Lucia 3.4%, Grenada 3.2%, Suriname 2.9%, Trinidad and Tobago 2.2%, and Jamaica 0.8%. So they actually have Haiti in the wrong place because that is minus.
So Jamaica going to grow 0.8% DP. That's from the World Bank. Dr. Olivia Rose, good morning. Unmute your mic, please.
Good morning, Colin. How are you?
I am vexed.
I am good.
I am vexed. I am upset that the government is not really looking at entertainment the way they ought to, and also the sector where people are involved in putting on events, dance, parties, their round robin, those kind of things. The government, in my words, see them people like tell them no rate way. And therefore, any issue, these sectors are closed down, pushed aside. And like I said to my brethren Simon Crosskill yesterday, when you had COVID-19, I don't know of any sound man, any selector who got anything from the government. And therefore, the people in Manchester, they walked out of a meeting earlier this week with the Minister of National Security, and I think their Member of Parliament was there. Dr. Rose, you hearing me? Dr. Rose?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Yes, I am aware, and I know this is your show, but I am here to ask you.
Well, you said you want to ask. Go right ahead with your question.
Context and so it's yes, because I mean, given the high stakes involved in balancing safety and economic activity, how do you view the impact of the early party closures on local economies, that especially of party promoters in the parish now?
You see, the issue I have, if you take the industry serious, then compromise will be found. There will be ways worked out by party promoters and the government stakeholders that these events can be held and also safety can be maintained. There's no reason why people are investing in an industry and because somebody was murdered in the area, the event suffers for that. However, other businesses are allowed to operate. If we are taking people live,
hold on, I think we're having some.
You're dropping off. I don't know if your internet.
Right, are you here? I'm back now. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am hearing you now. The video is a little bit slow, but I am hearing you.
Wow. Okay, great.
Right. So
is it any better?
Yeah, man, we have to balance it. There has to be a balance because these business people must survive. And they earn a living, and they are one of the reasons why the government is boasting the lowest unemployment of all times.
Mm-hmm. Right. So
I don't know if you freeze up again. If your internet not coming through, we might have to go phone in the dock.
All right. I hope we're back better now. Is it any better?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've switched from one provider to the next. These things happen. Right. So I get based on Lord.
Continue. Let me see if it worked now.
Okay, great. Excellent. I think we're a little better now. Are we any better?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, there's a delayed reaction when you say yes, but we're better now. I just want to know, given the context, there was this big issue about misunderstanding, and some people left with the only understanding being about Hennessy. What do you think could have been a reasonable compromise or explanation so that people are left clear as to what they can or can't do?
You see, I continue to repeat the issue of lack of understanding of the industry and lack of respect for people who are in the industry. Because to come to a meeting like that, talking about where people are drink is really neither here nor there. It is about people investing in this business, because to put on a dance now, you can easily, a small dance, you can easily spend $150,000. And therefore, to make back that, you have to sell liquor and people will come and drink them favorite brew. That's not the issue. The issue is that there's a hike in murders in the local that the government must also take some responsibility. So that's why I said the balance has to be struck where you deal with security and you also allow business to continue strive, because this is how some people send their children to school. This is how people put food on their table. It's not a side hustle for some people anymore. You have round robin will take place every night of the week. People they do it like a partner, and if the dance don't go on, it's a serious falling out of income for people.
Yeah, I'm happy you mentioned that, because I was gonna now ask you the security issue versus entertainment. In your opinion, how can the entertainment sector work collaboratively with the security forces to ensure both safety and obviously a vibrant and nice night for party goers?
You see, there is some work between those two. The work is been done, and I have said this front and center this morning. When a promoter apply to put on an event, you have to pay police to come at the event. Why is it we're paying police to come to these events, but then the event is also been locked off before the designated time because of security issue? Also, the police are also giving sometime in some places too many permits for one night. And I've always been looking at that and said there must be a way to decide how many events you allow one night, because the police must also be able to visit these events and keep the order. And these events also should give the police opportunity for basically check in on people who them are look for.
Excellent point. So the critique of the permit process is that there needs to be a check on how many parties are being allowed in one area so that there is better security coverage.
Definitely, because the police don't have unlimited resources. We know that. And therefore, to ensure the safety of patrons, the police have to play a critical role in whatever area. And that now brings into focus what the People's National Party was trying to put in place when we were last in government. Entertainment zone. And these zones, when you create these entertainment zones, they should be created with certain security apparatus that would make it easier for the police to really secure these areas.
And I want you to delve some more into that, but I just want to go back to the process, because I remember in one of the clippings from a party promoter at the same town hall, she said that the 4 police are to be in attendance, and sometimes clearly that may not be the case. But how is 4 sufficient? Is 4 too much, or is it too little? What do you suggest as it relates to how many persons, and how do we check that they're actually there?
Well, the promoters will know, because those police that you pay for really are normally at the venue full time throughout the event. But the amount of police that is needed for an event is assessed by the size of the event, the expectation of the promoters and of the police, what kind of promotion you do on the event. I mean, for my event that I do on a yearly basis, sometimes I pay over $400,000 to have police at the event. And when you look at those, like a Sumfest, a Sting, it's a lot of police that do these events. But we also have to bear in mind that smaller promoters can't go to them level, so we have to accommodate them. And as I said yesterday in that discussion, the whole party sector of the entertainment business, you have easily over 30,000 people operating island-wide in that sector. And when I assess it further, it's between 30,000 and 50,000 people who operate in that sector. The sound man, the selector, I mean, the whole cadre of people who work with the promoter, who do the decor, who do the food and beverage. who do this, who do the other security, because it's not just police that you use at these events for security. So we have to start look at party promoters, sound system operators as a big stakeholder in this and stop brush them aside like some little hangers on. They are not hangers on. These are people who are investing heavily in the economy.
Yes, and I want you to delve a little bit more in terms of the designated party areas. Do you believe that it is feasible to have one in every parish? And how could they potentially alleviate the current tensions and safety concerns if we had designated party areas?
You see, if you have designated party areas, there would also have to be parking. And as I said, when you have these areas that, you know, they are designed for having events, you have the added security apparatus. So when people get into those spaces, they would be actually be safe until they get out of the space when they're heading home. And then police patrol and all of that thing would be along those routes. So can we have one in every parish? I say we need one in at least one in every constituency. Every geographic space should have an entertainment zone, because people need a break, you know. People need breather. People need to go lime and listen to some music the way they want to listen to it. And this is also something that people travels for. There's that kind of tourism as well. And gastronomists thrive in those entertainment areas. So it is not a small business. Not a small business.
By no means at all. In fact, as I'm listening to you talk.
So instead of one in every parish, I am saying that we should drive to one in every constituency. And I think the local authorities should drive to one in every division. Because that's how hard Jamaicans party.
Well, you are absolutely correct about that. Because I'm thinking now, you know, even as a non-party promoter, I'd want to rent the space and I'd feel more secure in having a party in spaces designated areas to do so. And I was just listening to you talk about that and remembering the Black Star Square designated area in Ghana that is extremely suited.
So listeners and viewers, Dr. Rose is just coming back from Ghana, you know, people. She is just coming back from Ghana.
Trying to adjust
continue, Dr. Rose.
To the time zone. But they have a good large area that almost half of Jamaica could fit in. It's open though, so clearly there'll be issues in terms of securing it, in terms of closing it off and so on. But it's very suitable and conducive for creatives to have a space to express themselves, designated solely for that purpose. Ample parking, everything that you just mentioned. But let's look at some alternative measures. Are there some non-restrictive measures such as community policing, you know, or tech-driven security that you believe could be more effective in reducing crime? Which also brings me to the focus on the Hennessy. Do you think that was a distraction from addressing the safety concern? So talk to me about some alternative measures to keep the place secure.
Let me tell you something, Dr. Rose. When you set up these entertainment zone, you can now put in surveillance cameras. You can put in what is called shot spotters. So if shots are fired anywhere in the local, the police would know. And you put in cordon search. You know all the routes leading to the event. So you say to a man, bring your queen, leave your machine, because the police are going to dip on the road. You know, so when you go, police are dip on the road and make certain the speed limits are maintained. So it would be a safer space for all and sundry.
Right. And examples of expressions elsewhere. Can you think of successful strategies from other regions or countries that have effectively balanced entertainment and security?
You see, when I think about that, I look at Jamaica as actually different from what I have seen in other countries. I've gone to about 30 other countries in entertainment capacity, going to events, and they don't have the amount of events that Jamaica do as it relates to party outdoor events. Yeah, so our thing is really going to have to be the model that any other region or country planning to get anywhere close to what we do would have to model it after us. And that is one of the problems we are having in Jamaica, where the lack of vision is holding back the orange economy, because it is not anywhere else. You're never going to nowhere else and say, all right, in my little division, the fellowship division, the Rio Grande Valley, one night I go like 6 dance, and all of them are big sound outdoor in the little local. You understand? So we have to now design this for the rest of the world to follow. So it's going to take vision. Yeah. And that's why we're saying to people that look at the People's National Party. You have people like you who are a part of the culture and the creative industry. Dr. Deborah Ickling, myself, we have people like Ricky Chin, Dennis Howard, who really are part of the team that pushing forward. But if we don't get it right this time around, we are going to be set back. Because for 8 years, 9 years, there haven't been any real movement in entertainment, in the orange economy in Jamaica. And I like to tell people that this is the only economy, this is the only sector that we are competitive in globally. And that brings me now to the colonel of the Maroon, Colonel Warren Sterling. Colonel, morning.
Greetings, my brother. Greetings. Akwaba.
Blessings. Welcome.
Yes, that's it.
All right, so I have with us also Dr. Olivia Rose. She's the junior spokesperson on culture and the creative industry. I am the deputy shadow minister.
Yes.
Tell us about the weekend celebrating Jamaica's only national heroine, Nanny.
Well, first of all, we started out this morning at 9 o'clock. I did send the Zoom link to just about everybody that was in my thing. So we are really on like a 10-minute break now, and we're going to continue in a few minutes. So today, we had Howard do the initial part of the program, and then now we are going to be doing our part of it, right? So we're going to be talking about the history of the Maroons today. Get it all.
Yeah, Colonel.
We're going to talk about the history of the Maroons today. And at the end of the day, we're going to have a presentation from noted historian Beverly Carey, Mr. Bernard, who is the past principal of Rusty High School and the Port Anthony Comprehensive High School. We're going to have Dr. Hardcourt Fuller, who lectures at, I think, the University of Georgia, somewhere in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, all of these persons that I just mentioned, they are people from our neck of the hood. They're not strangers. They are all Maroon.
Right.
So they're going to be on today.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow we're going to be, after that, we're going to have a tour of the Maroon communities.
Yes.
Because many a time people will come and they don't get the opportunity to see the other, the communities as it were.
Tell us which communities are these?
Yeah, so tomorrow we're going to be dealing with the language of our ancestors.
Colonel Sterling?
Yeah.
You mentioned tour of the Maroon communities. I was asking you to just list some of those communities for me.
Okay, so the communities in the upper part of the Rio Grande Valley are like, Cornwall Borough, Ginger House, Millbank, Comfort Castle, Kent, Seaman Valley, and Brownsfield. Those are what constitute the Maroon community. But it is also true that Windsor, Fellowship, and Bellevue, a lot of the persons who live there are Maroon descent.
Yes.
But they are not normally considered as Maroon community, but they are part of the whole Maroon setup, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so tomorrow now we'll be looking at the language, as I said before, the language of our footprint. That is the majority of our footprints that live and operate in the Maroon were basically from West African origin, and the languages that they spoke, a lot of them was Twi. People do speak other languages, but out of these different languages, they make a language, a Creole then, that they refer to as Cromanti. And Cromanti here has to do with the port of Cromanti and the fort of Cromanti where they were held before they were finally shipped out to this part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So they use it as a unifying voice. So they call the language that they create. So it's a mixture of these African languages and English, to be precise, right?
Yes.
So what they did is they used that. And so even the drums that we play, we refer to them as Cromanti drums. The drums are Cromanti drums. The songs is Cromanti song. The dances is Cromanti song, and everything is about Cromanti. So we want to teach that language to our children. But even more important, the Twi language, which is basically the mother of that language, which is a much more practical thing that can be useful to them. Because if you speak the Cromanti language, you're not going to be able to use it within the confine of the Maroon community.
Right.
But if you speak the Twi, you can use it other way. And if you're fluent in the Twi speaking, you will understand the Cromanti very well. So we think the best thing is to do that. And then we are looking at the Taino language, the language that was used by another set of our ancestors, the Taino. And also, we're going to be looking at the Jamaican Creole. Not the part we're talking about, but the one that
the Creole.
The four-parents used to speak before.
Right.
Like Bindego and Ontibo and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That is that. So we hope to have Dr. We're going to have a lot of persons on tomorrow. We're going to have, discussion sessions and question and answer sessions, where people can break out in groups and look at it. And we're going to have Dr. Hardine Henry, QC lecturer at University of the West Indies. She had studied here in the community sometime. Mm-hmm. And we're also hoping to have Professor Devon Hubert Devon, who was in charge of the linguistics department at the University of the West Indies, who had done a lot of research work in the community with his students. And at least one of them continue on to get a doctorate in this kind of thing, that is Dr. Harding Henry.
Mm-hmm.
So for our whole viewpoint, what we are trying to do is to make sure that we can get persons who can teach this language to teach it in the schools in the upper part of the Rio Grande Valley for a start.
Okay.
Because if we are able to do that, then we can expand further to other schools in Jamaica, because the fact of the matter is English is not our mother's tongue. Never was and never will be. So it is important that, if the children have to advance, if they have to get even a better gap, learning their mother's tongue will even give them a better gap of the English language. At least anybody think that we are saying, okay, fine, we're not going to be doing anything in English or anything like that. That's not what it's all about. It's about reclaiming that which is ours, where our foreparents came here being able to use one language, and now they are using something different. The descendants are using something different. So therefore, we have to make sure that we get this language started in school. And we can look at what the Maori did in New Zealand in terms of how they managed to revive their language. It's over a period of time, but it is excellent because they have their own schools that they speak their own languages. And so
tell us though, Colonel, about Monday.
So Monday now is the day when we will have, first of all, we have all the other Maroon communities are going to be here. And all the other officials, the dignitary and government officials that we invite, and other groups and the community folks and people are going to be coming out. And we will do our performance.
Colonel Curry coming up?
Huh?
Colonel Curry coming?
Yeah, he should be coming. He's invited. The thing about it, when we have functions in a Maroon community, all Maroons are invited. And he didn't say he wasn't coming. As far as I'm concerned, he said he would be coming, right?
Oh, okay.
Because I spoke to him personally.
So for people listening,
I'm taking him by his word.
For people listening, planning to come on Monday, what time should they come?
Oh, we start maybe about 10 o'clock, but we try to see if we can start a little earlier. About 10 o'clock, so we don't come later than 10. I mean, you can come later than 10 if you want. That's the time I allow you, but we're going to be all over the place, right?
Right, but if you don't want to miss nothing, be there at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, right.
All right, Colonel. Thanks much. We'll be there tomorrow.
And then, we have a little entertainment in the night. Popcorn will be here.
Popcorn will be there with when?
Yeah, he's going to be here tomorrow as well, so, and he's going to be here, the night time event.
When him going to perform? Monday night?
Yeah.
All right, my people. So
pop. Tomorrow and Monday as well.
But tomorrow performing at the night?
Yeah.
All right, Colonel. But Popcorn will be there. And of course, I will be there.
Sound system will be there.
With sound system?
King Safari. Sizzler will be there during the day and everything like that. He's basically on his way to coming over now.
All right, Sizzler Colonchu going up there. Big things up on Moortown, people. So they are there today, tomorrow, and Monday. Thanks, Colonel Sterling. Bless up.
May that my brother. Thank you very much. Too.
One love.
Yeah.
Colonel Warrell Sterling. Let me apologize. We're having some echoes there and thing, but we're still here with Dr. Olivia Rose. We have the phone lines open, so anybody want to call 804-7072, you can give us a call and have a discussion. But Dr. Rose, I leave my call our people. So I say live on enough feel now here. We were looking at the whole culture and creative industry in Jamaica, though.
Yeah, I think I saw.
You see the message on the screen?
Right, I saw the message. I wanted to respond, but then I had to sign out to go back into YouTube. But I think Abraham had said that in Ghana, the people who sell on the road, they leave their goods overnight. You can't
do that in Jamaica.
Jamaica. Do I need to respond?
Well, I don't. I think that's just a statement. That's just a statement that you still have, but you still have place in Jamaica where you can do that. Example up a Moortown. Anything you left on the road, now move. Come back, come see it. But let's talk about deeper into the creative industry, Dr. Rose, as it relates to the possibilities that lies in that industry for Jamaica and what we are achieving right now.
I got disconnected twice again. This is not cute, but what were you saying, Colin?
Not cute at all, because that have we repeat yourself too many times.
No, I know, right?
I can't believe you're in the city.
But
aren't you in the city?
I know. I am.
So what kind of internet connection them they have in the city?
And listen, I don't even want to say the mobile the network provider, because I switched off and I was hotspotting my laptop and it just wasn't working, and I'm back again trying. But I wasn't sure what you said a while ago in closing, but I wanted to find out if there were any recommendations that you think we could do it has to be a collective effort in terms of helping to get the most and to be taken seriously as an industry as it relates to this particular issue. And as there is an incident, there's always a shutdown of the parties and so on.
First.
Do you have any recommendations? First. And as one of the participants that were at the town hall said, the church doesn't get locked down, the market is still open, and these are still large gatherings. So do you have any recommendations specifically to our industry as to how we can really start to tap into the goal that we have, because we compete globally on this scale and we are actually very competitive? As a matter of fact, I wanted to mention, based on what was said by Abraham about Ghana, there are two dancehall reggae artists in Ghana. They model our artists here. One models Cartel, and I don't remember who the other one models, and they have large following. So one is Shatta Wally. In fact, I heard the combination with Beyonce, and I said, what? Cartel did a song with Beyonce? Because he sounds pretty much, he idolizes Cartel. only to find out that he's Ghanaian. And so we have to also tap into that industry to make sure that we make the most out of it, since people are modeling us. But let me hear your recommendations.
You see, I have to mention though that respect and an appreciation of the industry is needed by government. Because if you don't respect and appreciate that the industry contributes to GDP, to our economy, then you're going to continue to just brush it aside like it now have no value. So some of my recommendations are that a stakeholders meeting needs to be held, but it must be a stakeholder meeting where mutual respect is exercised, and stop looking at promoters and sound system operators as some little chug along. No, they are not. So yeah, we need to know, forge apart for both to coexist. And the promoters and sound system operators must also show that self-respect and operate in a professional way that we can be taken serious, because we have to face it. Some of us don't operate professionally. We operate like it's just a little hustle. And we have to start seeing things as a business. So that coming together is needed. It is also a part of the zones that we need to put in place that will give us those things that we want to recommend, as we say, as the zones would have surveillance cameras, shot spotters, regular cordon and search areas, that people are safe going into these areas. And, one of the things we have to look on, Liv, is that people in these industries must start getting to the formal side of the economy. You need to be formally recognized. You need to register your thing. And you need to know, say, if a man ramp with your business, are your business that. So we have to start show some responsibility and some professionalism in all.
Do you think there's a know-how of that part of the industry?
There are, in fact, Liv, I did a course, I think it was with the University of the West Indies, in events management. Yeah? And a lot of our promoters, so there are educational courses that promoters can do.
But you did the course, hold on. So Colin, you did the course. How many party promoters, event planners would be interested in doing a course, or even are knowledgeable that these courses exist? Hence, I'm asking.
And that's why we are here this morning, basically giving people information, because education is critical in anything that you do. So therefore, we are now saying to people that if you are not aware, there are courses in events management. But we are in a position where we now must also set up some educational structure, because a man might not want to go that deep for do a university course, but he would have go to a couple of workshops and seminars to get some information. So we have to start implementing those. And we have met with some sound system operators before, and we're going to stretch out those things, carotene, and make people get a full understanding of how to operate.
Yes, absolutely. Because the ignorance in the space is not gonna help. And then it doesn't do well for negotiation, such as what would have not happened.
And it don't earn you the respect that you need.
Yeah.
Because, as I say, for the sector to continue to grow, it needs mutual respect.
Yeah.
But Liv, I just want to touch on the possibilities that a new PNP administration will bring for promoters of these events. Because you can make much more money out of them events, because when you go to some of them events, Liv, you see proper content,
Yeah.
Proper content you can advance.
Yeah, and I think it's just how we are able, as you said, to educate and inform the public as to the different avenues, earning opportunities, that is. Because I was privileged to attend one of the matches in Ghana, and I had a VIP pass, but people, I didn't reach into the VIP section because it was just chaotic, and it doesn't matter. Everybody's gonna try to jump the fence, reach in because Ghana is playing. And I reach over what is considered the bleachers section. Over the bleachers section, I will let you know there's everybody there with a little tablet doing their live streaming of the match over the bleachers section. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So really, it is how you're able to tap into the industry, and it's a big pie. It's just how we're able to parcel it, because other people are packaging it and benefiting from it.
Yeah, but
you know, so it's,
you see, we have this culture that is craved around the world. And for years, I've been saying to people, we need to package this culture and export it. I spoke to Ralston this morning, and he's saying the gap is over 2 billion US in terms of import and export. We are importing so much more than we are exporting. And I am saying to us as a people that we now need to start exporting this culture that people around the world crave so much, because we can only bring so much and no more persons to Jamaica as tourists, you know. But then there's still the bigger market out there who still want even just to see a little piece of Jamaica. And they would buy it.
Absolutely. But I know in terms of also tapping into crime and helping to reduce crime, it cannot just be one-off instance of locking down the place. And community policing is very critical in helping to solve some of those issues, because it's going to require all hands on deck. And one of the outlets too to reduce crime is to show people different avenues for which they can earn their own living and better themselves and their families. And hopefully they will resort less to a life of crime and violence.
And we just want to say to the government, it cannot be that as there's a little flare up in violence, the first thing you do is shut off the parties and the dance. No, can't be. We have to take a different approach where we facilitate people who are investing their money in these events. We can't just turn our back and we know business how much them lose and what happen. That have to stop. And the next PNP administration will be looking seriously on partnering with all these promoters, all sound system operators, selectors, DJs, singers, actors, artisans. We are going to be partnering with you to ensure that your business thrive. Not that as something flare up, we are going to shut down your party the first move. No. We have to find a way to coexist.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank you, Dr. Rose, for joining us this morning. That's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Putting a beautiful face on the screen as well, make the screen look nicer. Want to thank Ralston Iman for spending some time with us this morning, getting into the Jamaican economy and looking at the FinSAC archive. And we want to thank Colonel Sterling from the Moortown Maroon. And the man said, popcorn, I got did the sizzler, them I got did the Maroon thing is a big thing now. So find little time, drive up to Moortown, and let's celebrate Jamaica's only national heroine, Nanny of the Maroon. Thanks, Liv.
Medasi. All right.
You know the language them too.
I mean, I was trying to learn.
All right.
All right, cool.
Yes, my peeps. Yeah, man. So we have a little time left, you know. We don't know if you don't want to call in 804-7072. We can take a few calls before we cut. But do remember to join me Tuesday night for the Colin Bell Show on Styles FM and on Caribbean Radio. But we come here on a Saturday morning talking the truth. So some people don't like when we say the economy in a trouble. When you have an economy that is only going to grow 0.8%, you say someone not living in the country, you know. So when you can look back, earn no money, and when you come down here with a 2,000 US in your pocket and have crazy money for a week, and before the week done on the start ball, how the money now have no use. Let me play it for you again if you never hear it. Let me play it for you again.
because that is minus. Haiti is supposed to be down at the bottom under. So the World Bank forecast for growth in the Caribbean for 2024 starts with Ghana up at 43%, and we know oil and gas. St. Vincent and the Grenadines 5%, Dominica 4.6%, Belize 4.3%, Haiti negative growth, meaning contraction, negative 4.2%, Barbados 3.9%, St. Lucia 3.4%, Grenada 3.2%, Suriname 2.9%, Trinidad and Tobago 2.2%, and Jamaica 0.8%.
Wagwan, brother man. Mystical.
Yes, sir. How are you
Enter the
today?
space. Welcome, my brother.
Yeah, man. Better late than not true.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, man. The impressions have been overwhelming and very educative, yeah?
Yes.
This morning. So be a part of it. But there's one big element, Colin, that is, I don't know that it is missing, but it probably is not being highlighted sufficiently.
Talk to me.
And I want to pronounce it even louder this morning, starting from the base that Jamaica, is dead. So we're not talking about Jamaica is about to die.
Or Jamaica is
on
dying.
the road to death. Or Jamaica is dying. I think Ralston said it well this morning and put it in more economic language, that Jamaica is bankrupt. You recall that he used that word?
Yes.
Jamaica is bankrupt, yeah? And I don't want us
but
to minimize the importance.
Me not accept the dead part.
Yeah, I know where you are. I know where you are.
If it's dead, it can't come back, brother.
No, man. It is dead, but it can be resurrected.
Wow.
You understand?
All right.
Yeah, man. That's why I always say, if the stone now removed from the sepulchre, I always use the point of crucifixion, you have to really extrapolate, yeah?
Yeah.
If the stone are removed from the sepulchre, there can be no resurrection. And there's a big gigantic stone. Yeah, the stone has to be removed, yeah? Yeah, but the point, to be made even clearer and louder is that all that is being done, don't think it is out of sheer ignorance, that what we are experiencing, yeah, and the results that we are getting from our economic performance. These are matters that are not deliberate,
Talk to me.
These are scientifically deliberate approaches, yeah? These are not just result of bad management per se, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is ingrained in deliberacy, yeah? It's a mission.
So it's a design.
This is a design, brother. And I will continue to say that until it reach home. Because if it not reach home, we won't understand, yeah? The shenanigans, We won't understand the clownery. And the monkeyism that belies these activities. So, from the point of your discussion with Dr. Rose on the orange economy,
yeah,
and all that is being done there is deliberate.
You have to wonder, You have to wonder. You have to wonder. Because, like I said to Simon Kraskill yesterday, find a sound man in your local who got anything during the COVID lockdown. Find a selector who got anything. Find a promoter who got it. I know there are some promoters in Kingston who told me that they got a little thing. But promoters in Kingston, I never get none. I don't know nobody outside of that circle, and that's a tight circle.
It is, yeah. Because generally speaking, you don't find the benefits, yeah, as widespread. be generalized. In certain specific ways, they will do things to show you that look at what we're doing here, look at what we're doing there, in order to cloud, your vision of the reality. So you will only see the little particular things, but you won't see it in a general way. And sometimes this little specifics is always seen as a general. It clouds out the vision, of the general impact that these actions are having upon the society. Yeah. And I want to even put it further, because they have highlighted and they want us to believe that Clark is the best thing that has ever happened to economics and finance around here. And if we have reached that point of absorptivity with that nonsense, then it goes to show where we're at. So when people are being dunsified, see no move is being made to enhance education or to develop education.
No.
You think that is just because there's no money around, and how it is that we find money to spend in security.
Mystical. I like to repeat this. I see a piece of road a fix somewhere in East Portland, and the member of parliament is there on the tractor, on the roller. But Titchfield High School and Happy Grove High School, where the repairs still not finished. Me no see her up there yet. Me no see the video with her up there yet. So it holds true to what you are saying. There's no interest in education.
Brother, remember now, this is a banana republic, These are Backra's children, ensuring that the turf remains the same as it has been, These are Bacra people, with that same mentality and philosophy. And they are real-time Bacra. They are not just wannabes or just carrying out the impressions of the pirates. These are real Bacra people. So them have no interest in what you and me have interest in. Yeah? All them is dance around and chat a little thing here and chat. Nothing that goes to the grain.
Somebody's asking who are the architects.
Of what?
Of what you are saying, the dead Jamaica, the plan to keep the people in entertainment.
Yeah, they matter about like partisan politics, This is ingrained in a culture. This is ingrained in a system that goes way beyond PNP and GLP politics, but is who implement it and carry it out and allow it to have sway from time to time. Just like what I'm going to say now. What the government of Jamaica or the party of Jamaica is involved in, I left that argument right there, so involving, is to ensure that every move, every one step forward is another 2 step backwards or 4 step backward. All right, watch where we're coming from. Look, just follow Jamaica's history, economic and political history, and look at the periods of transition from one party into the other, and look at the outcomes. Just measure the outcomes and see the results, that we have had. Every time it moves forward, it moves backward. Every time it moves forward, it moves backward. Every time it moves forward, it moves backward. There's no consistency. So the question must be asked: who are the creators? Who are the engineers? Who are the authors? If we are getting that result, because if we were the authors and creators for our own destiny, there would be a sense of purpose and a sense of unity and a sense of achievement. In ourselves, we'd have a sense of pride and honor and dignity. But what we're getting is scorn and contempt and impunity. Then who are the creators of that? And how we have been absorbed into it. How our politics get absorbed into it, that we don't like ourselves. And we are in such conflict with ourselves. And we get nothing out of it. So at the end of the day, you know what is going to happen to Jamaica? At the end of the day, we're going right back in the arms of the IMF. That is what they have brought us to. That is the impoverishment that they are facilitating. You think the corruption is just by chance? It is by design. It is all them thieving we are going at the resources. You see all them projects that have overruns, and they have been having overrun in this time, and it comes like a normal process and a normal scheme of things. It is to bankrupt the country and put us right back into the arms of the IMF. See Nigel Clark gone up by IMF, right back into the arms of the IMF. And check it, Shaka. This is no joke, If we are not growing, If we are growing down and we are growing backward, then what is the alternative? But to go look money at all time, go borrow.
And that's why I asked Ralston if there's any model of any country who borrow themselves out of debt. Any country who come out of debt and start grow them economy by borrowing.
Every opportunity to grow this country, huh? Where is it? What happens to the opportunity? Look at what the land is being taken away from us. We are deprived of it. And if there's an opportunity, what you see go on it? Concrete and steel. Yeah? Concrete and steel.
Yeah.
That cannot, and that is the reason why the bank collapsed. Ralston will tell you. That's the reason why the bank can collapse, because them concrete and steel, investment in dead opportunities. Yeah? And
Question,
that is
Mr.
where they are taking us.
Question. What are your views?
Where they are taking us.
What are your views on the release of the information on FinSAC, the archive?
Nonsense to confuse the people of Jamaica that nothing is there. You think I believe that there's no report? The report cannot be released. If there's no report, somebody must be held responsible and somebody must go to prison for all the money where them get for the what? Yeah? All the money them do to just collate information. Yeah? Just gather information. Yeah? Gather statistics. That is what we paid $100 million for. To the commissioners to do what? Is to produce a result.
It's how much money this government. You remember that this government pay $1 billion for somebody to tell them to increase their salary?
Listen to me, man. Several $1 billion for SSL, $1 billion for this, $1 billion for that, $1 billion, pure $1 billion to do little.
$20 billion for Cornwall Regional.
Listen to me, man. You see it? People just flinging money and throwing money. $10 million to University of the West Indies, $10 million to the other university to do research on this FinSAC thing. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing money here and throwing money there. It's so easy to waste money against the people. Hey, it not take them nothing to throw billions of dollars, yeah, against the people. And at the end of the day, I'm saying, boy, I say a $20 million, a $20 here and a $10 here, yeah. Whether it's to buy a vote, yeah, or to give a man a little increase here and there, you know what is going to happen. You know, hey, if Colin,
yeah, man.
So the PMP is on the rise, right, and is hoping to take the reins of. Listen to me, man. When that happens, you know, you are going to find the bankruptcy of Jamaica. You are going to find that setup, you know. You see how the public sector is being expanded, yeah? And over the years, yeah, it is being said, yeah, and must be practiced that the public sector must take a lower seat in terms of employment and expansion. But what is that? You know, the public sector is expanding at an alarming rate. You don't realize that. You don't realize it is expanding at an alarming. What that means is that drag is going to pull down the revenue to nil, to the extent that we will not be able to pay our public sector. We will, at the rate of how the country is not growing enough, and the rate of how it is, how the employment is being expanded in the public sector. You don't read it. That we soon have the money for pay the people. And when that happens,
it is showing
that the people can't manage. Under you it pop down.
Yes.
Under your government it pop down.
Because they are tearing it down now when you are borrowing money 12 years forward to give away, not to ramp up the agriculture sector, but to just hand out $20,000.
Me say they are making sure that when another government comes into power, they won't be able to manage the country and the people will turn on them. You see? It used to be better and so and so. You see what is happening?
You're right.
It's deliberate, brother. It's a scientific scheme, and if we don't open where I see it from now, I tell you this, in 5 years, there will be no tourism sector.
And that's why they want to keep the people dunce. That's why they want to keep the people dunce, that the people can't understand what they are doing now.
Yeah. You see, they're talking about climate resilience, and they are doing everything opposite. Yeah? Yeah? Everything opposite.
My brother.
Things that will apprehend the slide, they are doing everything to condemn, any little gains that we'd have had and any little opportunity to remain. Look how them digging out and gouging out the country. Yeah, but I travel from Yasoga, Portland, over a day ago. I tell you, say, listen to me, man. It has never been bad. It's a corridor that is being rehabilitated. What them call it Southern Coastal Highway, That's what them call it,
So the work I go and see maybe coming up around there in a little while,
Listen to me, man. You just take a ride from Port Antonio and come as far as take a ride tomorrow and see what I'm saying to you, because I might be mischievous.
But the Prime Minister was in Maroon yesterday, wasn't he?
I heard a blogger saying that. I didn't, because I came in the space overnight. Yeah.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is all about. But if you ever march the corridor, man, remember me tell you.
You know it's rough. That's why I'm gonna come around there.
It's rougher than rough, man. It's treacherous. It's disgraceful. It's oppressive. It's exploitative. And I don't think that it can be remedied. That is my view of the situation. I don't believe it can be corrected. And Czech is going to lose their stature right in this Eastern St. Thomas. Yeah? Their credibility and their stature is already being eroded. Because even the work that they are now doing is worse than the work that the previous contractors, which we call local contractors, are doing.
Oh, yes. What you really
do. You can't listen to me, man. You can't believe all I'm doing is digging out and gouging out and making the space larger. Yeah.
Widening.
But when you look at the corridor itself, you don't think it can be repaired. And if it is repaired, geologically, and environmentally, and geographically, it is going to be in a worse condition.
My brother.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for the call. Big up yourself. And we'll keep in touch.
Brother.
One love.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
You're listening to Portland Spice TV. Truth TV. Right here on YouTube. Nadia, how you doing? Oh, you're late for class. Well, you have to go back and watch it from the start, because Ralston was brutal this morning. Ralston Iman was brutally frank and honest and upfront. Jamaica is in problem. DP, me know you not like hear it. But we spent $90 million US this week defending the Jamaican dollar. Sister Dawn. Sister Dawn.
Greetings.
Bless up.
Oh, you ready to talk now? Or
talk to me, man. The program should have ended, but we accommodate you because we had some guests this morning, so we never take much calls. So go ahead.
Guess what? I just realized I had to rewind when you were talking to
Ralston. Okay.
Yes, so I just realized that I'm way behind because I was just responding to Colonel.
Oh.
Wallet Sterling.
And Colonel gone long time.
Same thing. But I noticed no one has acknowledged the crossing over to be with our ancestors of Colonel.
Oh God.
Marcia,
Lord. Me never mentioned that to Colonel. And I tell you something, as I get off here, I want to head down there to pay my respect,
Yes, that is like a sudden news to the whole community.
Yes.
Because she was on our way to carry out one of our missions.
Yes, and died. Yeah, man. So anyway, condolences to the Charleston family.
The Charleston, yes. We have to extend that. Because I just recall last year when I was in Moortown that we and her had a real togetherness. We
serious lady.
Yes, but very, very, and a very accommodating.
Yeah, man,
and
very
warm.
cordial and warm. Yeah, man. Yes.
I was listening to something the Colonel said that it relates to language.
Right.
And in Jamaica, you know, we don't like middle in the road. We always either or either.
Yeah.
English is not our mother tongue.
It's not our first tongue. Not our first language.
That is what you call. That is what the mother tongue is, your first language.
Right.
However, a lot of the times, I'm not using empirical data. I'm just using my layperson observation.
Yeah.
Because we are not allowed to be comfortable with our mother tongue. That is why we are having so much difficulties with communication and English. Because other countries, that English is not their first language. They speak English properly, and they speak their languages. Because even I am seeing the sister who just came from Ghana.
Yeah, Dr.
A lot
Rose.
of Ghanaian speak other languages before English, because some of them have to learn their mother tribe language, their father tribe language, if their mother and father come from different tribes.
Yeah.
And plus, sometimes, if they are living outside of both tribes and in other tribal area, they have to learn that tribal language.
Yes.
And so, but if you are comfortable with speaking, that is what will help you to learn different languages. People talking about we can do business with patois and so.
Why
it
not?
has nothing to do with it. Japanese, learn Japanese, and only Japanese talking Japanese.
All right.
Don't Japanese languages to them, and when you go there, you have to do business in a Japanese.
There you go. There you go. Them now accommodate you. You have to find a way.
We have to respect what we have. And that is how we deal with anything that belongs to us. Disrespectful. Why you think you hear people talking about with music and so. I keep telling people what the dancehall people are facing now is what the early ska people faced when ska music just came into being.
But it's a shame that we're facing that issue with a young man as the prime minister and some young people in the parliament.
It has to do with classism. Full stop. You see, in America they call it racism. In Jamaica we call it classism. To me, same difference. Same difference.
We have to do better.
We are doing anything that we create for ourselves. Anything that comes out of Jamaica is disrespected. You think that even, all right, you see how them deal with Rastafari. Say I'm Rastafari.
Yeah, man.
It has nothing to do with His Imperial Majesty as our Messiah,
No.
It has to do with the fact that it started in Jamaica amongst poor people. Nothing more. Full stop. So we ska come under the pressure, rocksteady come under the pressure, early reggae come under the pressure. You know that you have some poor people in my age group now, where we tell you, say, when them did little Alton Ellis and the Paragons and them people that couldn't play enough for them house.
Can't listen
those
to
people never knew.
the dirty
those
music.
People did not sing out of the music. Them never sing violent music. It's only now we using those to deal with dancehall. But you have dancehall music that don't deal with violence nor slackness, and we still dump everybody. And
Jamaicans, you see, Auntie Dawn, we are still not at a place to appreciate our own and recognize our own greatness.
We don't love ourselves.
Not
we
at
are
all.
still mental slaves.
Yes.
But
yes.
you say me over, me come keeping you on.
Yeah.
So this discussion, and all I can say is, Aluta continue.
Blessings, Auntie Dawn. One
continues.
love. Struggle
All right,
continues. One love.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Thanks to all the callers. Thanks to Ralston. Thanks to Colonel Sterling. Thanks to Dr. Olivia Rose. Thanks to all the people in the chat room. This has been Talk to Me with yours truly, Colin Anthony. We do it every Saturday morning right here on Portland Spice TV. And remember to join me Tuesday night, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. right here again on Portland Spice TV. And that time we'll be joined by Styles FM 96.1, 96.5, 96.7 and Caribbean Radio HD over there in New York and in Florida. One love, my people. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace now and forevermore. Blessings.